I don't know. Oh, here he is.
No, he was there the whole time. We just forgot
Yo,
about it.
I didn't see. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Vinny's Corner. I'm your host, Vinny.
bro.
I got the fellas here with me. I got Caleb, Showtime, and Cove here with me. What's going on, guys? How's everybody doing tonight?
Fucking
Doing
exhausted. Exhausted.
bro.
Long day of work, huh, Cove?
I've been on the road since 6 in the morning. We're still going. I only took a break to do the show, and then I got to go back to work.
That's crazy. It's late. It's like what time is it over there?
It's
10
10,
o'clock?
10 o'clock.
You know, Vinny don't work past 10 p.m. at night, man. There's rules about stuff like that, I think, somewhere.
We are
But-
legit building a shed in a hotel parking lot right now. Like, that's what we're doing.
Okay. That sounds exciting.
Yeah.
So I was at a hotel last weekend. I get into my room, and I'm right outside of Phoenix. Okay, I'm covering the boxing event or whatever. I look out the window at nighttime. I don't see anything. I wake up in the morning. I look out the same window, and there's a horse farm behind my hotel. And I'm like, where am I? I'm like 5 minutes outside of Phoenix, and there's a horse farm literally. But it was pretty cool. So each morning when I would walk outside, I would kind of walk around the property and just check out the horses and stuff. So it was pretty cool. Anyway, so we had an exciting weekend of sports. To just kind of jump right into it. Obviously, we've got some champions now.
Yeah. He's been waiting. He's been itching to talk about it.
Let's go.
Talk about what? The Carolina Hurricanes? So
you led with the Hurricanes. I thought you were going to leave with the Knicks.
Carolina Hurricanes. Well, we had to leave with the Hurricanes because the way that they came back into that series, they roared back into that series after a slow start, and letting Vegas kind of grab the reins on things, and then closing it out with the shutout to end the series. It was an incredibly dominant performance by the Hurricanes. And I know you're a hockey guy, so I figured it'd be a good place to start. Why not just jump right in there on the NHL side? I could turn it right over to you, Cove.
I mean, you all didn't listen to me before the playoffs. You all had Colorado. You all had Colorado.
I have
What
Vegas. I have
And what
Vegas.
happened? They got
I have
swept.
Vegas.
They got swept.
In all fairness, nobody saw the interim head coach bump that we were going to see from Torts, right? Torts comes in with 8 games left. They go on a legendary run and stop short in the Stanley Cup Finals. Torts already got fired.
And he got fired. He was there. He was there to win a chip, and he couldn't do it. So they go, "Yep, you're at the door, Torts."
Vegas not fucking around, man.
No, they're not.
They gave away Marc-Andre Fleury on a Vezina for 2 draft picks. They don't fuck around ever.
I mean, I wasn't expecting to see Butch go. Or Bruce, Bruce Cassidy, But listen, so you can kind of lead the way on this, obviously, because you got your NHL questions. But the biggest thing, and I wanted to ask you, how many times has this happened ever in NHL history where a player won the Stanley Cup and then a coach won the Stanley, right? That player coach won the Stanley Cup as a player and a coach for the same organization.
I think it was a Canadian in the 70s or something like that. It was the last time that's happened. It's only been 4 or 5 times it's ever happened.
It's a rare occasion, right? And in
rare.
the modern era, it's very rare.
Yeah.
In the modern era, Rod's the only guy to do it, I think.
Yeah, he's the only one to do it because most guys like Yzerman and Blake and Sakic, they go up into they go into general managers and stuff like that, like player operations. They don't really go to head coach.
Oh, okay. Interesting. So I didn't, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's usually they get on Oregon. Now, Yzerman was weird because he went to Tampa, then came back to Detroit. Rob Blake went to LA. Sakic went to Colorado. Usually, you go to the team that you spent your career in. But I mean, so we have plenty of former players to win a cup later on. Like Sakic did it with Colorado. He got another ring, but he was just as a general manager. So it has been done for some players to get a chip later on as someone as a personnel.
Just not specifically in the coach capacity.
Just not the coach capacity. And
Okay.
especially if you're a Toronto Maple Leaf, then you definitely don't win another chip.
Well, I mean, Toronto's kind of a weird situation, right? Like, I don't know. Yo, listen, I think the people in Toronto, the fans, low key, and it's messed up to say, but I think they might have rejoiced a little bit that Marner was not able to complete the job. Like,
yeah, and he's the first one to ever leave the Maple Leafs and not win a cup the year after. But he still can though, because the way that works is every former Maple Leaf when they've left, the next year they won a cup. But this happens to be the first. This would have been the first time that a Leaf left the same year to win a cup. So like he could still do it next year. Vegas could win it next year, and Marner could still do it 1 year later. But he had a good chance. I mean, the guy had 28 points in the playoffs. He led all playoffs in all the points, and he still didn't get the chip.
so sorry, my daughter just pulled up. My wife came and snatched her. So like, I guess now looking at this Carolina team, right? Like, what are the questions that surround like coming out of this season? So now they know they've got two. Now they've got a real good 1A 1B goalie situation, right? Yeah. Are there any guys that they're on like are there guys coming up on like free agency or like guys that they're gonna have to pay soon? Like is this team gonna be able to stay together or like?
Oh yes, this team is pretty much stuck together. They made some trades. The Mikko Rantanen trade really is what helped them because Rantanen did not want to play with them, so he decided to go to Dallas, and Stankoven came over from Dallas, and that's what really propelled Carolina, especially in the playoffs, because a lot of people had Stankoven being the Conn Smythe and not Jordan Stahl.
That's ridiculous. But that being said, him and so actually, it's funny that you brought that up specifically because of what I'm about to say. So him and you said that he was a huge piece to this team winning. Coming over and the way that him and Stahl play together on that line, it's huge, right? And now it's kind of like a hand in glove sort of thing, right? Because a lot of those shots that he's making from that point position, he's only making because, especially in that series, because Stahl was dominating Eichel on the faceoff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like like, is he as effective if Stahl's not there? You know what I mean? But I think Stahl kind of proved his worth with the goals, between the way he just owned Eichel and then the way he stepped up with the goal scoring in the finals. I think it was a no-brainer for me.
But just to say it, you talked about Marner and Toronto having a sigh of relief because Marner. But do we forget about Freddie Anderson got a cup and he's a former Leaf?
Well, I mean, but he left a little while ago.
Yeah, I know, but it still stings because
Marner is like fresh.
He's fresh, but Frederick Anderson was the player they brought in to get them a cup, and he kept saying he can get him a cup, but they never could get him there. And then Freddie does it all himself. So,
well, and so look, right? If he didn't have Bussy, he probably still wouldn't have got a cup, right? Let's just call it what it is. Bussy was like the final piece that he needed to help him get that. So with the Leafs, he wasn't going to get a cup. He needed things all fall into place the way they need to sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's very
man.
strange though, because like Bussy came in, but Anderson wasn't hurt and he wasn't shook. So I don't understand why Brendan Moore decided to put Bussy in, because there wasn't, people are like, what's wrong with Anderson? And there was really nothing wrong with him.
Well, so there were like different rumors around it, like, but just I mean, listen, simple enough. The team needed some. That's what a coach does, right? A coach switches a little piece or one piece for another guy, right? And changes the entire complexion of a series by doing so. And that's exactly what happened when Rod made that move.
Yeah. I mean, why? Like, we understand Rob did that, but why didn't Torts do that? Because Carter Hart was just completely just rocked the entire series.
How many times did we talk about this? Like, are we going to see Hill in the next? Right from last Wednesday, we were like, are we going to see Hill next? And then the next two games,
he just wouldn't put Hill in, and I don't get it.
I mean, Carolina outcoached them in that way by swapping out Anderson.
Huge, and that was the thing, is that I felt like once they saw it in front of them in real time, they made the goalie switch. Look what it did for them. Let's try it. But like it was like you know what, we're not going to do what they're doing. Like,
and
I don't know, man.
And Carter Hart still wound up being credited for 4 goals, not just for the first 5 games, for the entire series, because they scored 24 goals in 6 games. They still averaged 4 goals a game.
Like that, and listen, Vegas is a strong team and they can score, but requiring your team to score 5 goals every night to win is an impossible situation. Like we you know what it's Torts dug his own grave at that same time. You know, it's kind of interesting, but and it's weird because they're not firing him, right? They're just not renewing him for next season, right?
Yeah,
they signed him for the playoffs basically, and they're just not renewing when his contract ends at the end of June. That's all. But
like I'll give you the finding of that whole series. The 3 goals in 39 seconds showed you what Carolina was scary.
Well, so like here was why, like, to me, the reason they were like so scary in that series was because like there were moments in the other series where it was like, oh, Stankoven, and it was like, okay, he's not scoring, so Stoll just stepped up and started scoring, right? Aho was doing a lot on the assist side of things, but then when they needed it, boom, how he steps in and he's lighting the lamp. It just they were who every night whoever needed to do it was doing it. That's what, like, you know, and listen, I'll point out the biggest thing that I noticed, and I already said it kind of in big upping Stahl. Jack Eichel. Where was Jack Eichel? Like, he should have been on the side of a milk carton for that series. He got completely dominated the entire time by Stahl. Like, there's nothing else to say. 37-year-old completely owned him.
And then when Taylor Hall does better than Jack Eichel, you really got to question yourself.
Dude, it was disappointing. And I'll be honest, I just didn't expect to see that. To see Eichel as a no-show in the finals was the last thing I thought was going to happen.
Yeah. To me, it shocked me because, like, I watched them and whatever, and I'm watching them when I forget. I think it was like game 2. I was watching them, and I wasn't really like focusing on them. Then I'm like, wait, Taylor Hall is still playing?
Yeah,
like I was like, what? What?
Bro, they're like, I mean, that's what was crazy. Not just about them. Like, that was what was crazy with like Stahl, right? Like Stahl's been playing for what, 17 years?
Yeah.
Some of these guys, like, they had guys on the ice during that series that are borderline our age. You know?
Yeah.
So it's kind of crazy, but it
was
a good series though.
The fun fact, and you saw me talk about it before, the fun fact is Is the only thing that he didn't get to do was he didn't get to play with all of his brothers. Like that was the only thing that he never got to do after that 17 years. We never got a chance to play with his brothers.
So let me ask you a question now, right? Because we just touched on something interesting with the age factor here. Now, and I was reading these, so I know we really haven't been too focused on like the questions per se, just chopping it up. But one of the things you brought up is there a potential, and in hockey this happens a lot, right? We see dynasties a lot, back to backs, and all of that. Is there a potential for that with this Carolina team, right? We've seen Florida get there a bunch of times. We saw Tampa Bay just do it. Is this the time for Carolina? What do you guys think?
I mean, here's one question: can Carolina beat Florida? I mean, it's a serious question. I mean, Florida wasn't in the playoffs this year, and you could say that's why Carolina made the finals.
Yeah.
It's a messed up position to take because Florida looks so awful this year, but you're also very right. And that'll be interesting.
I mean, who am I to say that after we missed the playoffs?
But I don't understand the narrative of that because people have talked about that, but they only lost the one series to them. They didn't get knocked out year after year after year from Florida. So Florida wasn't really dominant to Carolina.
I'm just saying based off of what happened.
One year it was Florida, one year it was Tampa Bay. Yeah. That's what happened. They lost to each team in Florida. Right. But that's the thing. And so for me, that was the thing, right? Carolina has been the constant over every season that keeps getting back there and wasn't breaking through. So it felt like this was the season. Like, we felt like that, when we talked through this kind of early on too, Cove and I, but I don't know, like dynasty wise, like what do we get from Stahl next season? Does he have another season like this? What about Aho? I mean, it looks from a goaltending standpoint, it looks like they're good, right? And I think that's a huge thing to be able to start with. So
I mean, Bussy is their future because Anderson is getting up there. So is Stahl. Like they're both 37 years old.
Yeah.
So they both have to be replaced within the next year.
All right. So what you do now is Bussy becomes 1A, Anderson becomes 1B, right? You run it that way so he can gives Bussy the relief when he needs it, and you start slowly looking and try and see if you can get another guy like maybe to develop, but like somebody younger, to start to kind of.
But I don't see Anderson being there past mid-season next year because, like I said, it was very weird why he didn't play. They're like, he's healthy. Why isn't he playing? It's because his knee. I think his knee is trash now. Like,
and so there was something came out because I'm trying to find it, but after the finals were done on Monday when I was listening.
Mm-hmm.
That was addressed on ESPN. They said that after the fact, they asked Rod, and basically, like, there was a health concern that they just didn't make a big deal about in the moment.
Because he's been getting. That's why he got sidelined a year ago because he had
maybe he just needs to have his knee cleaned up again, kind of thing.
Yeah, he was getting blood clots and stuff like that. And as a goalie, once your knees go, you're not going to be that dominant anymore.
Oh. Well, listen, he got another Stanley Cup, or he got the Stanley Cup, so it's all that matters.
Yeah. At the end of the day, he's like, I got my ring. Can I play another season? Will I play another season?
Well, we'll see, I guess, right? All right. So it's that time, right? Right. Hockey season's done. We could talk about my Knicks now.
Yeah.
But listen, I'm now in a place where like I'm actually like I'm not over it, but I'm glad that this wasn't till Wednesday, right? And the night of the game, I was covering the boxing event that I was at, so I didn't even like in real time. I didn't see it happen or anything because like I probably would have cried in the moment, So like from like a fan perspective. This was like awesome. It was a great run. I'm very happy with it. I'm not here to gloat or anything else because like until listen, I didn't know myself that my team was ready to do this, until they were in the middle of doing it. You know what I mean? Like nobody did.
No.
That's the easiest way to say it. Now, that being said, obviously, Showtime is a Heat fan, so like he has a logical hate towards the Knicks because he's supposed to.
It's not personal. It's just
Yeah,
it's
and
kind of forced in a way.
yeah, and that's totally fair. Obviously, Caleb also supports the New York Knickerbockers amongst other teams, and
Yep. Yeah, but he
Cove.
Amongst
jumps more than I do.
Listen, between you and
amongst
Caleb,
others.
you guys like 40% of all sports teams in the
Oh,
world.
come on. I'm not like that.
Between the two of you guys, it's
Okay,
unbelievable.
bro.
They got and Cove just pulls the jerseys out to go with them. I'm like, you really have a jersey for every team you like? You're wild. But so just from a basketball thing, just to kind of jump on it. Now I'll take a look at the question side of things. Now listen, Cove, the first thing you had brought up is this could they be a dynasty?
The only reason why, and it's not you, and it's not Knicks, it's your fandom that are what you call the non-Nick fans who talk about this. I've been literally hearing this for days. They win one championship, and everybody's like, "This is a dynasty." Yes,
That's
Brunson dropped
way
45.
better.
Brunson dropped 45. They were one of the most dominant teams in the playoffs this year. They almost had a 15 game winning streak. And I mean, Jordan numbers, when you're dropping 45 on the game clincher, that's going to be dominant. But every Nick fan, the very next morning, was like, Dynasty. I'm like, whoa, you guys won a championship for the first time in 53 years. Like,
Let's pump the
chill.
brakes.
Pump the brakes on this.
Yeah.
Okay, so just from a purely basketball perspective, the last 8 years, right? So that's going
There's
back
been a
to
single champion. There's been only been
a
one.
new
There's no
champion.
repeats. There's no repeats.
So there's a lot of parity in the league right now. That
Which is
tells
good.
me that the Knicks are not going to be there, right?
Yeah.
That being said, could they make another deep playoff run?
They
Certainly.
definitely could. They
That's
definitely
possible. But we'll
But
see.
add to the dynasty part, though, they might not do well next year, but they could probably repeat the following year. So 2 out of 3 can be a dynasty era because it does happen. So it's still potential. Just I don't think these guys are going to be back to back to back. Like one guy, I don't know if you ever seen his personality on Twitter. He's called New York Mentality,
Oh
and
my god.
yes, I know.
I know who exactly you're talking
Yes,
about.
y'all
I've heard him
know.
in the face before. He's a Knicks fan.
All of you guys know where I'm getting this from because you're
Oh,
all on the
yeah.
same show during 11 o'clock in the
Yeah.
morning. You
Yeah.
know where I'm talking about this dynasty bullshit. It's mentality and his love for
It's
his team.
ridiculous. It's
No.
honestly ridiculous.
So
He's confident. Cool.
He's confident. I
It's
love the
ridiculous.
confidence, but that's your New York fan that I hate. That's where I get the New York hater. That's the fans I hate. Where no matter what, because the thing was, the dude literally made a bet and then didn't even honor his bet because he just couldn't take the L. Take an L as a fan.
Yeah.
So listen, I don't know exactly what happened. Here's what I know. Anything is possible. I understand being very excited about our team and hoping. Just like I said, from a logical standpoint, just because of the way the league is right now, I don't think so. I would not rule out going back to the Eastern Conference Finals, right?
No.
I could see that happening. But
Because the East is weak. The East is still weak. Let's keep it a buck.
Which means what? That we could easily make it back to the
Yeah,
Eastern
yeah.
Conference Finals.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's my point. So
unless
we
there's
are
a major shakeup, which involves Giannis, we'll see.
Giannis. Yeah.
We'll
Listen.
see. We'll see. I'm not saying anything.
That's if Giannis goes. If Giannis goes to Boston, but Jalen
Giannis
Brown,
goes
what
to
happens to Jalen
Boston-
Brown?
Yeah, there's the caveat. Exactly.
I'm gonna be honest. If Giannis went to Boston, I really in my mind, as like a fan, I'm not like, oh no, we can't get like we can beat that team. Giannis is 32, 33. When's the last time he really did something? And when's the last time he did anything in the postseason? It's been
Yeah,
half a
but
decade.
but having Giannis and Tatum is a duo that could be dangerous, though.
The potential is there,
Yeah,
no
yeah.
question. And it
But
won't
what did
make
they?
me
But what do they
sleepy.
do with Jalen Brown? Like, what do they do with him?
I mean, Jalen has to go, right? The only way you get Giannis, right? You got to send Jalen
Yeah,
to the Bucks, right?
yeah.
And then maybe Jalen can have what he wants. He has his own team.
But if you have Jalen Brown and you got Giannis and you got Tatum, what threat is that?
That won't happen. That's impossible.
That doesn't work financially either.
Yeah,
No, I
they-
know.
Not gonna
That
happen.
doesn't work financially. That's not gonna happen.
So
Yeah.
Giannis, listen, here's
Let's
the
pump
trick
the
to
brakes.
Giannis. Any team that takes this guy on right now, at age 32 years old, his next contract that comes up is a 4-year supermax for 275 million. That's what, 68 million a year? 68.5 million a year. So like a team that's taking him on knows that they are looking at putting like that's a big step. That's a big step to make, right?
Yeah, but
For-
Brown's on par to get 81.
well, and so that's why they can't have both. So you got
Yeah.
one or the other. And Brown came out as soon as the season ended and they didn't win, and he played no time with Tatum this season. He came out and said this was his favorite season he's played in the NBA. Like, what does that tell you? Fuck you guys. I don't even like being here. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even like you people. Right? Like, his favorite season was not the season when they won the fucking ship.
Yeah.
What? Like, ship him out.
Mhm.
Just makes sense, I think.
Mm.
So now
But
here's-
who else? But who else though? We're talking about Boston, but who else could logistically get Giannis though? Really?
Showtime, what do you think? I know you're a Heat fan. How did the Heat put that together? Because they're the other team in talk, right?
I know Pat Riley. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, if these trade talks drag out, the less likely it's gonna happen.
Well, here's my thing, right? Miami has been in the picture for 5 years with Giannis.
Exactly.
Okay?
No, and with
What is going to change in the next 2 months
Exactly.
that is going to make them put a package together that now everyone's like, oh. So they're kind of like, to me, they're not realistic.
It's like, it's a two-handed sword with this. The Bucks are, I think, overvaluing Giannis a little bit. Like, it's hard to say, but
well, and listen, his last healthy season 2 years ago, he averaged like 6 or 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and like 30 points a game.
Exactly.
And he's a champion. So and he's an MVP formerly.
Like,
so
they have the right to ask for that much, but like, that's just not a price the Heat are gonna pay, because they're not just gonna give up their whole future for him. Like,
well, and that's the thing, like, because of what it would take to bring this guy on board, right? Like, okay, let's just play devil's advocate. And let's say the Knicks were like, hey, because we just won a championship. Now to stay competitive and make sure we win another one or can compete again, we should go get this guy too. What would we have to give up? Josh Hart, Cat, Deuce McBride, Shamit, some money. Like what?
now here's the flip side to it. Like, the other teams that are in on him, it's mainly Boston. What can Boston do besides trade Jaylen Brown? And will they trade Jaylen Brown? That's the thing.
Well, and listen, to me, that seems just like the obvious route, right?
Because besides Boston, I don't think anyone else has the assets to trade for him. So if they don't, he probably goes to Miami. That's my honest opinion. But that really depends on Boston.
Mm-hmm.
So with
I mean,
Giannis not
does Jalen
expressly
Brown have a no
saying
trade clause? Also, does he have a no trade clause or no?
Jalen
Because
Brown.
that's a big factor too. Because if
Hold
he
on, I'm
doesn't
googling
want
it.
to get traded, he doesn't have to.
Jalen Brown, no
That's
trade
another
clause.
factor. I thought I heard rumors that he might, but I'm not sure about that.
No, he does not have one.
Okay, so that's non-factor. Okay,
Yeah.
but he can
The
still
biggest
stay
factor
at.
is because he's owed 81 if they don't
Yeah,
trade him.
he
No, you
has a
know.
massive
Oh
contract.
yeah. So he's got a trade kicker. Yeah.
That's what it was. That's what it
His
was.
contract is fully guaranteed, and it comes with the trade kicker. So
Bingo. There you go.
yeah, so it's going to cost them to move him too.
Yeah.
It's just not going to be an easy thing. It's not going to be as
not at all.
straightforward.
It's not at all.
Maybe that's
but
why
it's-
he's got the attitude, because he knows that they can't move him very easily.
Right.
It's
I mean, he's set with that contract that they signed. Like,
what a ridiculous.
that contract that they signed wasn't justified at the time. I get he's a perennial All NBA player, Finals MVP, but he's not a number one. I feel like he's a co-star. He's not a star.
He was.
I mean,
But
this
he's
year,
not.
yeah, but you saw in the playoffs what happened. Like,
Well, and listen, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, he could do what he could take over a game like that. Now,
no, I get it.
like, you know, it's different. Like he almost got hurt. He hyperextended his knee in that Phoenix series when they won the chip. He had to go off for like 5-10 minutes. He basically walked it off, came back on, and after that became like the most dominant man out there for the rest of the series, right? He has that ability. He was that guy. At this point, he is not the 1A take over the game. He is, now he is, like you're saying, like they need to have another, they have to have a true shooting option.
Yeah.
You got to have a real shooting option.
But I mean,
Like,
one chip in 7 years, like, you know.
Does that really warrant the biggest extension at the time? Like,
Yeah.
no.
not when you're not a shooter.
Yeah. You
I
put
don't
up Jordan,
know.
Kobe numbers like 3 and 4, 3 and 5 championships. Like, yeah, that warrants it. But 1 and 7?
Well, because like the league has gotten away from the kind of basketball where he's going to be like a low post kind of big guy, right? So like it doesn't really make sense to pay him that kind of money when he doesn't have like a good shot. I just don't get it.
Yeah, because he's mainly like a rim attacker and a mid-range shooter. Like he can make a three, but that's not his game.
And his mid-range isn't even that good.
No, it's not. And his handle isn't great either.
He's just a big guy who can attack. And like he used to be able to do that. And like the thing is, like again, he's just getting older. You know, like
and he's very predictable where he can't really drive to his left. Like you can force him left.
Yeah, so to me it wouldn't make sense. I don't know.
And the one thing I've noticed, especially because we're talking NBA and we were just talking NHL, it's like this year's draft class for both is kind of mid for both. I haven't heard much for hockey, and I haven't heard much for basketball.
NBA is more so a deep draft, and there's like some top end guys too. Yeah, this is a pretty good NBA class.
This is supposed to be a good NBA class.
Yeah, it is.
And the NBA draft is next week, isn't it?
It's really.
But what I'm saying is, there's not a dominant 1, 2, 3 guys that are going after. It's so good that you can get a second round pick.
No, I get
you can get a second round draft pick just as good as a first rounder. That's what I mean.
Well, like the order of the first few guys, like it's not set in stone. Like AJ DeBansta should be the number 1, but it's not set in stone.
He's the highest upside. The Wizards should take him.
They should. So we're gonna see. Now, since we are talking about kind of the younger players coming into the league, we did just see the young possible new face of the league in the finals, and we saw a lot of good things and a lot of bad things this season from this guy. So let's jump into the Wemby conversation.
He showed that he's still young. Let's just say.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Well, so
the
He showed
no
that he's
shit,
still
the
young.
no handshake. That gets me from anybody. I don't care if you're a veteran or a rookie. The no handshake is just
I didn't see that. I had that shit turned off by then.
yeah. But that there is the biggest fu to any sport.
No,
So
it
the
is.
no
Yeah,
handshake.
that's
well,
just.
so look
I don't
for
think
me.
that's not his attitude though. Like he's
No.
humble. Like
Yeah.
he's not an
And that was
ass.
why this was weird. Like
Yeah.
I feel like he's been now I don't know what to trust. And this is why now I'm just like I don't like this guy. Because like the one thing, right? The first half of the season, I saw this humble, very nice guy,
Yeah.
right? Then the end of the season, I saw this demon running around the court, pulling people's hair, trying to kick knees out, throwing our star on the floor, just but like
I
low key,
think
I
that's just
also kind of like that.
competitiveness. I think it is. I think it's just
Um,
competitiveness.
and I liked it. I liked it a little bit because like it just
Right.
felt like basketball was getting its edge back and like kind of tough. Now, so to answer this question, Cole, is he already the most valuable player to build around? He should be, and it's going to take the right coaching. So they're not. Mitch Johnson is not necessarily using him the best way he can
Yeah.
at this point, right? So with the
They
right
just kind of let
coach,
him do whatever. They let him do whatever. That's not how you can. You're not. You don't coach him like that.
and that's what I'm saying. Like you can't. Like, you listen. I'm sorry, but when you have a 29-point lead and you have a guy who's 7'5", why isn't he at the rim?
Yeah.
You have a 29-point lead. Protect the rim.
The
Stop playing around.
Spurs got fucking walked over because their coaching just shit the bed. That's what it
It's
was.
all. No, it's all around an experience. All around. Like
Yeah,
coaching,
player and
players,
coach. It was on both sides.
and now look, they have one guy pretty much with experience. And that's De'Aaron Fox.
And they got to get rid of him.
And
They
he's
got to
he's
get rid of that
singing
fucking guy.
And there is rumors that he is going to. There is rumors that there's possible trades for him.
with his
Well, 'cause, like-
contract. He's really hard to trade with his contract.
Yeah, that's the only
So
possible.
that's
way.
the problem. And like, and
Yeah.
this is the problem that arises from this whole situation. You have these two young studs in Stephon Castle and Dylan Harper, right?
Yeah, they're the future of that franchise.
How
for
can it
sure.
be their team when you have a 50 million plus a year fucking guard on the team?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's why that when they drafted Dylan Harper, I get it. He was one of the more talented guards in that draft, and he's shown why. Like he's
Oh,
amazing.
his upside is huge.
He's amazing, yeah. But the problem is now you have a guard logjam. Like, what do you do now?
Well, and
And that's
what,
why I
like,
didn't. That's why the Fox trade at the time was kind of confusing.
listen, they need no matter what. They have to figure that out. Like you give a draft pick to another team to take him off your hands in the contract, whatever.
Yeah.
But like you got to find somebody that he'll go to that he's okay with that will take him because like
I mean, the
He-
guy in Sacramento that we saw with De'Aaron Fox, that's just not the same player anymore.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
I-
not
he's not the clutch player anymore.
No.
What'd you say, Caleb?
He's not the same player as he was in Sacramento.
Yeah, he
No.
like
different
seeing
guy.
him drive to the rim with no explosiveness. That's just I don't know. It's Fox was a super fun player to watch in Sacramento, but he was being very, let's say, not explosive. He's not explosive anymore. Like,
So
and I don't know if
so
that's
he's
because
lost
of
a step.
injury or what.
On his move to the hoop, he's lost a step. We can all say that, right?
No,
That's where we're
explosiveness.
seeing that the explosive side. Beyond that, in this playoffs, his shooting was like a seesaw, a roller coaster. One game he's hitting threes, one game he's hitting nothing. But like back and forth, like this is supposed to be our steady guy, but he can't steady himself.
Yeah, he's the vet on that team.
So when you bring in a vet to be the steady hand and they cannot do that, you must do whatever you can to offload them and that booge contract. Like you're gonna go you're gonna have to pay these other guys sooner than not. There's no reason to have 50+ million on the books a year for a guy who hurts your team when it counts.
Oh yeah.
And
I
the
mean,
rarity
another
of all,
player-
because I always pull it out, is How often is that? Like the third or fourth time this entire year we ever mentioned Sacramento? Because I don't think we ever talk about Sacramento.
No, but we're mentioning Sacramento in more like a bad way, I feel like.
I know, but we don't even talk about Sacramento at all. Like
No, yeah,
ever,
I get
ever.
it. Like,
I don't think anybody talks about Sacramento Kings anymore.
the Kings' former coach won a championship. The Kings' former player cost them a championship. Like,
Yeah, we don't talk about the Sacramento Kings. It's just not really talked about.
no.
They're kind of a tough organization because, like, look, like the Browns, right, in the NFL, where they don't do much winning, right? They got Shador, they got the Myles Garrett of it, and that trade. So they have things to like make them relevant.
Yeah.
The Kings just don't, they don't have anything to make them relevant. They're in
No.
Sacramento.
They don't.
First
Their
of all,
market sucks.
their market's not good. They don't have anybody that's exciting on the team. Like, what? Remember when they traded? Remember when they imported the team that the Bulls failed with? Like it was going to do something.
The Sacramento Bulls.
Bro, what? Like what?
That shit was funny.
DeRozan?
Yeah.
Zach? Really? Like what?
Mm.
I didn't get that at all.
This
That was
time
a
next
tough
week,
one.
I show up in the Sacramento Kings jersey. You'd be like, you guys be like, you fucking asshole.
Dude. Like there was a time when they had cool jerseys, man. There was. But that went by the wayside with everything else for them, unfortunately. And listen, it is what it is.
Mm.
So-
I joke because if I was home, I'd probably pull it out because I do have one in the bucket. I don't even know who it is. I know I got a Sacramento Kings jersey somehow, and I'm like, I don't even know who it is. Probably from someone from a long time ago.
we're gonna have to before we leave today, we're gonna have to take guesses at what that jersey is, and then you're gonna have to find it for next show.
Yeah, you'd be like him. Yeah, he played like fucking like 4 games. And I got his jersey somehow. It's
Or
like
maybe
what
it's
the
like a
fuck?
Weber.
Probably was a Weber. It sounds like it sounds like it would have been a Weber because a Weber jersey was good to have at one point. So
That's a fact. So now one of the other things that I know that we were discussing here or looking at was just like which teams are kind of under pressure, right? So
Cleveland. Cleveland.
well, this is kind of an interesting one, I think, right? So I think a few of the teams in the East are right to try and like figure out their next thing. I think that the Celtics kind of need to figure out where they're going or what their move is going to be, but they're under pressure to kind of get things sorted because I just like it. It seems like there's a fracture between the whole Tatum and Brown situation.
Yeah.
That's been apparent for a little minute. Cleveland, Cleveland's just running it back with everything that didn't work. And in Cleveland's minds, they're up 3-2 in the finals right now. So, per the analytics. So
I mean, does Halliburton come back and get Indiana back to where Indiana was 2 years ago?
I wonder. I think that he did the right thing and he just sat out this whole season as he needed to. I mean, listen, they were talking about he's the most clutch guy in basketball a year ago.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know that that's Jalen Brunson, but they were saying otherwise. So
yeah,
maybe we'll have to address that. I don't know. So listen, basketball's over. Hockey is over. And now we can really just like dive into baseball season, which is a good thing.
Yeah, because we don't talk about OTAs with football till like August because there's no really thing to talk about.
Maybe if we were like hardcore, we should have like a fantasy drafting show where Showtime gives everybody like his fantasy drafting tips for like the football season or something. Not a bad idea, right?
No, not at all.
Well, I gave you two guys the fantasy pitch of all fantasy pitches.
The fantasy, okay, so we're gonna have to talk about that off air, but Like I have
Yeah,
thought about
you
this
told me
more.
that idea. I
Yeah.
was completely like,
But, like-
what the hell?
But here's the thing, and I think I speak, and Showtime might echo the same sentiment here. But like the part of fantasy that everybody loves is the work.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Like
this shit's every day, dude.
well, and so like and that's the thing. Like for Major League Baseball, it's a lot. I do get that.
It's
But
it's
right?
heck.
Like that's also kind of like the exciting part of it, though, is like being the coach, being the GM, right? Like
You're
it's,
engaged every day. Yeah.
you make crazy you make moves like
I know, dude.
bro.
I know.
My phone go and I'm in the West Coast, so like this guy wakes up and he's making moves at like butt crack of dawn. I wake up, it's like 4 a.m, and it's like Showtime added to the roster. I'm like, what time is it? He's adding. What is happening? Like this must be why I'm so bad. But
man,
it makes sense because Showtime and Caleb are up at 4 a.m. fixing their rosters.
Well, that's why I brought up the whole lazy fantasy because
yeah. So you don't do
Showtime's like,
anything.
are you playing the baseball? I'm like, I totally forgot I'm in a baseball fantasy league. I completely forgot about it. You can look at it. I'm like, I have no idea what my record is. I don't even know how well I've done. I am
Well, this
surprised
is
I'm
what
not the
happens.
last team in the league right now.
I go in at the beginning of the week and I do what I can with my roster at the
Right,
beginning of the
right.
week. And then as soon as it goes a little awry at any day, then I just click for the rest of the week, start all active players, and I don't look back until the end of the week.
No, exactly.
I know, but I haven't even opened up the app since I drafted.
You're probably beating me though.
Which is crazy because I haven't changed a single thing,
Like
roster.
I'm
Oh,
decent at
man.
football. I'm very good at fantasy basketball. Thus far, I'm god awful at fantasy baseball. Now we're not at the All-Star break yet, so maybe I can still turn it around. But right now, I'm like the Mets of fantasy baseball. That's how bad I am.
Oh, man.
In both leagues, I'm awful.
Yeah, I'm just the Marlins right now. I just have everybody on my team just doing whatever.
Well, so I guess we should talk about those guys, right? He's got his hat on. Hottest
Oh,
team in
yeah.
baseball.
Yeah, in June, it's nothing to really get my hopes up about. Like, I'm not gonna say they're a playoff lock or anything. It's
Well,
fun
let me
baseball,
ask.
though. It's fun baseball.
What?
I
what's
can't really
working
ask
for
for
them?
much more.
What's working?
What you say?
Like,
What's
like,
working? It's
is
everyone's
it
just
one of those things?
they're
Like
finding
everything's
ways to
working?
win games. They're finding ways to win games. It's not anything that's working. They find ways to win games.
Oh, okay. So like
Yeah.
that's like probably the like when you want to see when a team that's good and a team that's built for the playoffs.
It's
That's
teams
what
that
you
find
see.
ways to win. Yeah.
The
Yep.
teams that just find ways to win. Like every game doesn't have to be an ass kicking, but
Yeah.
they find ways to win.
Mhm.
That's a good thing.
Like when
Sure.
you just based off this season, there hasn't been many blowouts. It's like mostly every game is usually pretty close. Like they're competitive every game. They don't give up if they're down big. They've had
Yeah,
comeback
they don't get
wins.
blown out.
Exactly. Like it happens here and there, but it's not a very common thing. If you know what I
Yeah,
mean.
it always happens here and there to
Yeah,
teams.
yeah.
So now
It's a consistent brand of baseball. It is, and they don't get down on themselves too much. They'll go on a losing streak. They'll bounce back and go on a winning streak.
Mhm.
Well, they've got some. They've got on both sides of the ball, right? Whether it's in their rotation or it's their batting, like they have good people.
Yeah, it's a trend upwards in the rebuild because this is still a rebuild. Like, period. It's a rebuild, but there's
It's been a
excitement in the
rebuild
organization.
since 2004.
Oh no, but it's like there's excitement, like for once, because it feels like they're building a sustainable winner. If it really does.
And so now what about your White Sox, Cove? Right, so that's another team that's that's been on the upward
Speaking of,
trend
they're
in
getting
recent times.
spanked. They're getting spanked right now.
And listen, games are gonna happen. Teams are gonna get
Yeah.
spanked. It happens. I'm a Yankees fan. I can't decide. I was actually just sitting here and I'm looking and I'm going, there's the Mariners, White Sox, Marlins. I'm like, and then I've got my Yankees. I said, are my Yankees the worst team right now out of these 4 teams? Like,
No,
and that sounds crazy that I even think like that. It's not true. It's not true.
it's
We
not.
know that.
It's the best
But-
team there for sure.
But it like for
but for you, Vinny, though, you're playing a team that just took 2 out of 3 of the Dodgers, 2 out of 3 in Atlanta.
Yeah,
The White Sox are scaring people right now because they don't like. How are you doing this?
they're on people's radars now, and now
Yeah.
the key for them is just keeping that up. You know, not getting
Mhm.
too cocky, still having that same type of chemistry that Venable has built.
luckily, the Yankees are doing what they need to do today because it's frustrating watching them get their ass.
I know, but right now I'm not worried about the Yankees right now because I'm worried about when we go back into Cleveland, when we go into Detroit, when we go into
Those
KC.
are the big series, yeah.
Those are the
big
series I worry about.
because
Let me,
that's in division exactly.
What's going on with Detroit, man? What's going on in Detroit? Like, how else? I don't know how else to say that.
They're playing better ball, but it feels like it's too late. Feels like it's
which
too
is
late.
weird
They
to
should've-
say because it's not even the All-Star break yet.
Yeah,
No,
Yeah.
it's the Scooble. I can say Scooble scandal, but we don't know what Scooble's up to, and we don't know what they're gonna do with Scooble. Like, you think this is a clear cut answer? Like, why would you get rid of Scooble? Like, you should be building around Scooble, but every time he talked about him, it's
Yeah.
trade. Like,
Yep.
I
Yeah.
mean, it makes sense for them to trade him. It really does because it doesn't feel like they're gonna go on a massive run. They could, but it doesn't feel like they will. And this feels like more of an off-season thing, if anything, because they'll probably, try to gauge things again at the end of the year. If they can't sign him officially, then he's gone probably. Because if not, they lose him for nothing.
yeah. But that's a big uproar because everybody and their dog is gonna go after Scooble.
Oh yeah.
They've got like a decent, their lineup. I mean, between they got Green, McGonagall.
It's not a
Greenwood,
bad team, and they
Parkinson.
can get
Like,
trading him wouldn't put you in a big
Gleyber Torres is batting almost 300. He's batting 280 himself. They have. Well, it does feel like it's too late. It's weird. I don't know.
It does feel too late, but that's because the White Sox are competing, the Guardians are competing, the Royals are competing, the Twins are competing at times in their own division, so it's hard.
Yeah, the division isn't as bad as imagined.
Like, this is a division that anybody can win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong there, right?
And your last champion in the last 20 years, because the Sox were 05. So in the last 20 years, the only team that's won a championship out of that entire division is Kansas City Royals. That's it.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
The guard. Okay,
Look
so
at where my manager looking. They're looking for their division right now.
The Mariners are gonna run away the division. That's pretty much set.
If you couldn't win with Griffey, you're not going to win with Riley.
Oh, I never said win the World Series. I said
No, but I'm going to tell you, if you can't win with Griffey
no, I get
with
that.
the 116 in 2001, you're not going to win a championship.
Yeah.
The team I'm the most excited about in the West, if I'm being completely honest, is the Athletics.
Yeah,
Like,
they're super fun.
They're fun to watch play baseball, and I watch them play, and I'm like, this team is going to be good for the next 10 years. Like, they
went to Vegas and scored that was 101 runs in all of their 6 games. Like, that was insane.
Yeah, they call that the Vegas bump, baby.
Yeah,
Nothing wrong with that.
that game alone, it was like 16-14. You're like, what in the
Like,
actual fuck was
so
that
now
was
game?
watching that
it's
game
gonna
in
be huge
extras.
for and I before I just completely jump off the west or jump to the west, the last thing in the central, adding back. So right now, it's such a because like the run differential is so close that like it's very tough. But once they add Murakami back into that lineup,
Yeah. Yeah.
Chicago should have a nice bump. Like they only have a 2-run plus differential at the moment. But that's gonna take a nice bump when they get him back in there. So
We saw how good their offense was with Murakami.
yeah, like without him, they're keeping
Yeah.
it status quo and holding on
Right.
to like the top area, first, second place.
But they could put up crooked numbers with Murakami. That's the thing.
Exactly, and that's what they need to do because right now,
Because his
too
presence
close.
just helps the whole lineup. They have to pitch around him, pitch to him.
yeah, it'll be good to see when he's back for sure. Now, so
he'll
back
be
to the
back soon.
West.
He'll be back soon.
I mean, I thought he was going to be back by now. I mean, I have him in both fantasy leagues,
Right.
and he really he was like my big bright spot for the season, and now he's gone. So hopefully he'll be back soon. So now what about and we were talking about the West. What do you guys think? Alvarez was putting on a little bit of a show for the Astros, but the Astros are just crap.
The Astros feel like a team that could sell. Because I don't see them picking up momentum. I don't.
Where would you think, in your estimation, who would pick up a bat like Alvarez?
Any team could use him. Any team could use a hitter like him.
You're right.
Any team besides LA.
What do you think about that, Cove? Yeah, anybody but LA because LA does not need anybody else.
No, LA, they wouldn't have anywhere to play him. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Well, no, but so realistically though, like what do you guys think? Like, Yankees obviously might get in the mix, but what would they do with them? The Braves.
The Braves, yeah.
Right. Right, because that's an
but that
NL,
just
right?
feels like a luxury for them. It's not like they need him. That's just a luxury for them.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about teams that are going to make deep playoff runs. Okay, now this might sound ridiculous. But what if? Because
not Philly, because they have a DH already. Yeah, it's hard to say. There's a lot of teams that could use him, but there's a few teams that already have a DH that can't play anywhere else.
Let me see. Okay, here's my thought process. Arizona is in third place at the moment, tied with San Diego. If Arizona can keep themselves in a position to make a playoff run, I wouldn't be at all shocked if they, for once, went to buy instead of sell.
Okay. I mean, I've said this before and I'll say it again. Like, they always kind of just stay pat. And they win around 80-ish games.
You're not wrong for saying that. and if they did that with him, they literally would be for this playoffs.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know. I was just thinking about that. Because they're on the fence. I don't know which way they're going to go. But it's just so
they're a confusing team. They're a confusing team. They go on hot stretches. They go on cold stretches. But they'll win 85-ish games. Like, that's the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, I mean, you're not lying,
When's the last time they've made a big trade?
Game.
When's the last time they've made a big trade? Honestly.
The last thing I remember about the Diamondbacks was it 2 years ago or 3 years ago? They were a wild card in the playoffs.
Oh yeah, and that's how they made it to the World Series, and ever since it's they've been the same.
No, the last one that got when didn't they get Nolan?
Arenado was this offseason. Yeah, they did trade for him, but that's not like a major trade, I would say.
But it'd be a major trade for them though, because we thought the Yankees
were
for
them,
Nolan.
because For them, yes, but it's like not like they got a star player.
No.
A good one.
Yeah, for sure, definitely a good one. Now, where they messed up is trading Suarez because Suarez, all he does is hit in Arizona.
But I heard this. I heard this one that I heard a rumor that the White Sox were looking to go after Nolan. I'm like, what?
Huh? That makes zero
Yeah,
sense. They have a
yeah,
first base. They have a third baseman.
yeah. But I was like, White Sox going after Ariano? No,
Yeah, no.
I would love
Yeah.
it. He would do great in Chicago, but
I mean, is he better defensively than Vargas? Probably, but Vargas has just been so good. Why do you take him off third base?
Vargas,
no, but
another guy that I picked up in fantasy this season that's been good. Vargas.
Now here's a funny
Very
story. I
steady.
drafted that dude and I've dropped him.
There you go.
he saw White Sox and got scared.
No, it's not even that. It's just I didn't really feel the need.
It's very hard, very hard. Fantasy baseball is very hard.
It is.
Yeah, but I'm
Very,
saying
very-
if everybody
I have
saw
days
White
where
Sox
I'm
come
like-
into the draft. They're like, no, not doing it, not doing
Oh,
it,
it's
not
so
doing
difficult.
it.
The same shit with Murakami, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
So now we've been talking about the whole idea of possible buyers and sellers. We're right around the corner from the trade deadline, from the All-Star break. All that stuff
Yeah.
is in the next 4 weeks.
Oh,
No, like
No,
theirs
that's
is like
All-Star.
August 1st
Yeah.
is like we're
Yeah.
talking about a whole another month and a half before we even get near.
But now is when trade rumors heat up.
they
Like,
do,
it's not-
but
Yeah.
baseball likes to not do it heated up until like mid-July after the All-Star break before they really pump the brakes on that shit.
yeah.
Baseball is one of
So-
those sports where when it comes to free agency, it's like it's quiet, then it goes off, and then it's just quiet
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
All right. So who are let's do it like this.
Who are buyers and sellers?
First, who are like National League, who are our two biggest buyers?
Philly.
Besides the Dodgers, let's do it this way. Dodgers and Yankees, we know are always buyers. Okay.
Yeah.
Who else is a buyer?
Philly.
Philly
Philly
for
needs to be a
sure.
buyer.
Yeah.
Um,
Because they've been playing better, but they're still not at their peak form.
Mhm.
No way.
okay. So what do they do? I guess what would be that would be the question.
They could use more help pitching wise, and they could use more help lineup wise for sure. Because their lineup still has a lot of holes. They could use another arm too because they just sent one of their arms down today. Andrew Painter, he's been horrible.
Painter-
He's horrible. Like he was just out there serving batting practice. They couldn't win with him.
Well, you're not wrong about that one. So who are the biggest Alvarez is a big obvious looming bat that's going to be available.
There's some pitching names: Peralta, Sandy.
Sandy's in every year though. We got
Sandy's every year.
Sandy
for
is.
sure. Yeah.
Tyreek is. Like, there's a
Yeah.
lot of guys that are just constantly talked about.
Yeah, it's every year, and
Like,
it just
do
doesn't
the
happen.
Mets-
Like
Do the Mets move people?
No, I think that Mets are
I-
stubborn enough that they don't. Move
they're
somebody.
stubborn. Yeah, they're stubborn.
I mean, they still have the same head coach or the same manager.
Yeah, that's when you know they're not ready.
Right?
to give up on
Mendoza's
their
still in the
team.
building.
I'll give you one that we were talking about the NL, but the AL, the Red Sox, they need to figure they got to be sellers. They got to figure out what's going on there because it's how are the Red Sox so bad?
We thought they were going to be competitive this year.
They're a mess.
Anything but that.
Oh, I just because I have Sportsnet on right next to me. I didn't even know because I was working, but they went 0 for 12 tonight with an RISP. 0 for 12.
Jesus Christ.
When your bats are not getting a single run in scoring
I mean,
position
and look, if they had like going into the season, I knew their offense would be a problem, and here's the thing, like their pitching has been good enough to keep them in games. Their offense is just awful though, and that puts too much stress on your pitching staff.
yeah,
Like
they left 13 guys on base tonight with 7 hits, and not they went over 12 in running and scoring position against the Jays. Like
the Jays aren't even a prolific team. Like
I
what, you
know
know?
that's what I mean. You could barely beat the Jays. They lost 3-0 to the Jays, and over 12 with runners in scoring position. That's the biggest killer. When
Their
you
problem
can't
is
get
they were banking too much on youth. Like
yeah
Roman Anthony, number 1. He's been bad when he's healthy, and number 2, he's hurt. So
yes.
like they were banking on him to be an MVP type guy.
So they've got some decent pitchers. Right, they've got Early, they've got Suarez, they have Crochet.
Totally,
Gray
yeah,
is 8-1.
yep.
Totally, yeah. I mean, they have a good rotation.
And their rotation is not the problem. Like they have a good rotation.
Well, now I guess so. Here's the question, right? Is do they leave that rotation in place and look to try and retool the roster like in the off season, or do they move some of these guys? Are some of these pitchers going to end up in the playoffs? Just not on this team.
Yeah. I mean, Sonny Gray is a guy that could be moved, but it really doesn't make sense when they just traded for him. Like
Sonny Gray always moves though. He's what is like 19.
that's true. That's true.
It's what he's at his 19.
That's definitely true.
We remember when Sonny Gray was like, "Oh shit, it's Sonny Gray," but now you're like,
Right.
"Oh, it's Sonny Gray."
Sonny Gray, he's all right, but he's always on the move. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, he's like, I wouldn't be surprised if there are a few teams that could potentially benefit from having him. Just depending, and he's
a dependable arm. Yeah,
it's gonna all be about how bullpens and rotations evolve later in the season.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be a bad move for one of the contenders to get a guy like him just in case.
And would it really hurt their rotation that bad? Because they've been getting by without their best pitcher, Garrett Crochet.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I would love it. Can we trade with the Red Sox and get Crochet back? Would he go back to the White Sox?
I mean, listen, crazier things have happened, right? Not impossible.
Hey, give me back Crochet, but don't. If you give me back Robert, oh God, don't do that.
They're not going to trade. I don't think.
No, Robert's gone. He can stay in Philly. I don't care what he does.
Oh man, what was the? I just went to look at. One of the bets that I tailed today. Got cooked again. I'm hanging it up for the month of June, I think. I don't want to take any more L's. So listen, what's going on sports-wise? I know you are you working tomorrow, or are you going to be doing your show tomorrow?
I'm gonna try to. I'm thinking like because of how much we're working right now, I think we're all gonna take a break tomorrow from work. So like I think I'll be good for the show tomorrow.
So potentially Cove show regular time, 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. EST. Not too much like in the sports world. I'm gonna have I got a new article dropping tomorrow, actually, with my prediction for the Xander Zayas Jaron Boots Ennis boxing match coming up next week. But this is kind of a quiet time for sports, right? We're in the middle of things. We didn't touch on really at all
the World Cup.
World Cup.
Yeah.
Right? So World Cup. I'll be honest, really the only thing that's caught my attention was yesterday, right? Messi dropped a hat trick.
Mbappe and Messi.
Mbappe went crazy.
Messi's
what's that guy's name? Holland.
Yeah.
Holland went off too. But here's the thing: it's very early. It's the group stage. Most teams have only played one game. So we'll revisit this here. We'll touch
In
on
a
it every
bit,
couple weeks.
because this is just the group stage. So
Yeah, we got a lot of time to come. When we get to the quarters and all that, we'll kind of dedicate a little bit more time to the World Cup, and we'll pretend we know what we're talking about a little bit. No big deal. No big
Yep, we
deal.
got the College World Series this weekend. That's not a big deal though.
College World Series. Who made it?
Right now it's it's down to the last four. So it's
Who's left?
West Virginia, UNC. Yep, West Virginia's been a big story this playoffs.
Yeah, I didn't know they were still in it.
No, yeah, they're still in it. Yep.
When you said that the College World Series, I'm like, oh, hopefully he says it's WV.
Yeah, WV is still in it. And then there's Oklahoma and who's the other
Texas?
team? Hold on. No, it was Georgia. It's Georgia.
Okay.
Yeah. Oklahoma.
But college
Georgia.
baseball, that's weird. It's never always. There's never dominant teams. It's like
No, it's not. It's there's not always dominance, but there's teams that make it to Omaha every year. Like
Yeah, so like
or contenders.
the top 25 in college baseball is fairly like a lot of the same teams show up every year.
Yeah.
Like West Virginia is like perennially a good baseball team. Oklahoma's a good baseball school. Like they're good baseball schools, but none of them just like dominate the World Series every year.
There's the cream of the crop, but it doesn't mean that they win it. Like there's a lot of surprise teams that make it every year. Like for example, Troy. They just got eliminated by WVU, but they had a really nice run.
Yeah. I've been so obviously you guys know I went to WVU or whatever. This is how I even found out that they were in it. I'm like at the gym on Saturday morning last week. It's like 6:30 in the morning, and I look up, and like they were doing like the ESPN morning highlights of the college, World Series or whatever, the playoff. And I was like, oh, dope. I saw them. I'm like, oh, this is great.
Yeah, it's cool. Omaha's really cool, and the vibe around WVU was very cool too. Like
that's
the
awesome.
the whole country roads after the game. That's dope.
And like they do like so even like when we were younger, there's like all the regular logos, and then like the baseball hat has its own logo, or at least it used to be. The WV on the baseball cap is different than what we call the flying WV, the regular logo that's like on the helmets and stuff. That logo is not the same logo that's on that used to be on the baseball caps.
Right.
Yeah, it was like the baseball caps are more like it was kind of like an old school, like think like the Yankees, like how the NY is. It was a WV like that in gold.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
The only thing that I can say about that is like because like me at that era for me like I played with a lot of guys because I played for Team Canada, so I played against a lot of really good players. And the thing was, when I played for Team Canada in the summertime before, like a lot of my guys I played with or the guys I played against, almost I'd say 80% of them were all talking about going to the minor leagues. They weren't talking about going to college. So in baseball, it's like you don't get dominance as much because a lot of the talent goes to the minor leagues. They never touch college. It's not so much like NFL or NBA where they have to go get a college, go to a college to get noticed. No, kids get developed at 18 from baseball and will go. I had a buddy of mine that was actually going to be drafted by the Dodgers, and he said, "No, I'm going to Florida." He goes,
my high school, our high school quarterback, Mike Ambort, he was on the football team with us. He also played baseball. He was a year younger than us. So we graduated. He got to senior year. Then after senior year, he went to like his first year in college, and then he ended up going AAA. But ultimately, he ended up playing some, like not a lot, but like he played like maybe like a season or two for the Braves.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, but like same thing. He he went through like a year of JUCO and then straight into the minors when he was like 19 and just worked in it. That was it.
Yeah, so you don't get guys that will do a full 4 in college in baseball. They'll go minors before they go anything. They either go minors or they go college degree. Like it's just different. Different mindset when it comes to baseball players.
Hmm. It's a different it's a different thing, I think, but they are definitely like a different breed, like than I think a lot of other athletes, baseball
Mhm.
players for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so I think that is like just about where we are. So for next week, we will come back. We'll touch a little bit more. Obviously, now that we're going to be done with baseball and or not baseball, that now that we're done with basketball and hockey completely, we'll touch a little bit on
Other stuff. Yeah.
we can start to look at the fantasy side of things. Showtime, I'll DM you about it. But if that's something you're into, if you want to work on doing like a fantasy preview show,
Yeah.
that's
For
definitely
sure.
something we could get into. I'm completely into that, and you can be like the fantasy guru.
Yeah.
I know
for
sports are slow, but we're still not going to talk about the WNBA.
Hell no. You will not see me. You will not see me giving a shit about that.
I apologize, WNBA, but yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah. Sorry,
Anyway,
Caleb, too, because we know you like Caitlin Clark.
that's all we got for you guys this week here on Vinny's Corner. We appreciate you coming out, and we'll see you back here next week. Take care.
Oh, boy.
Bye.